6,000 kilometers. That's how much I rode in 2025 using the COROS DURA head unit. After spending that much time with it, I finally feel ready to wrap up this review I've been meaning to film for a while. In this video, I'll go over the features I've enjoyed the most, and I'll share my current Coros ecosystem and how it works for me in real life. Quick disclaimer before we start, I'm partnered with Coros Canada, but nobody tells me what to say and nobody previews this footage. This is purely my real-world experience. Every bike computer has compromises. I did a little exercise and compared the latest and most popular head units of 2025 by price, features, and battery life. On this diagram, you can see where each one falls. This is where the Dura lands for me. It's priced aggressively at $400 Canadian, and the biggest standout and my favorite feature by far is battery life. Coros claims up to 120 hours, and thanks to the solar panel, that number actually feels real. My first bike trip of 2025 was in Malaga. I stayed there for a little over 2 weeks. I charged the Dura to 100% before leaving Montreal. I rode almost every single day, and in the evenings I would often see crowds and tweak my profiles. While riding, there's a small icon on the screen that shows the Dura is charging via solar. That icon stays on even when it's cloudy. I got back from that trip with almost 50% battery left. Before this, I was using the Hammerhead Karoo 2. Finishing a basic 100km ride with 10 to 20% left was normal for me. With the Dura, it's the complete opposite experience. It just sits on the bike, and I barely lose a couple of percent per ride. I'm not an ultra cyclist and I don't do bikepacking, but that trust factor matters. And having this kind of battery life at such an accessible price is honestly impressive. I use Strava Premium to plan all of my rides. Adding routes to the Dura is very straightforward. You start the route on Strava, open the Coros app on your iPhone, go to Maps, and pull the route to the device. It shows up almost instantly. There's a storage limit with up to 100 routes saved on the device. For me, that hasn't been an issue. I usually only upload routes for planned group rides or when I'm traveling somewhere new. From what I've seen online, Garmin units have similar limits as well. If you're into Strava segments, those are supported too. Your favorite segments sync automatically when you first set up the device. You can browse the map and save new segments, or open a past activity and select segments from there. You can also enable segment alerts, which notify you when you're approaching a segment. You can race yourself or choose another competitor. It's a nice feature if that matters to you. The Coros Dura offers flexible GPS settings. Because battery life has been so good for me, I use all systems on, which includes dual band frequency. It's very accurate in urban environments. That's perfect for city riding like Montreal, where there are a lot of buildings and dense areas. It performs just as well once you leave the city, like when you're out in the wild riding mountain pitches. In June, I went to a mountain bike trip to Switzerland. We often rode in remote areas, high up in the Swiss Alps. The Dura connects quickly to satellites, even in those conditions. I never once lost signal during that trip. There's also an e-bike profile on the unit. You can pair the Dura to your e-bike via N+, which gives you more accurate battery and power data. That Switzerland trip was a real stress test. We rode in the rain, in cold temperatures, and on long technical descents. Just like in Malaga, I charged the device once before leaving. I didn't charge it a single time during the trip. I want to be honest here, there are a few things I don't like and some features that still need polishing. The screen is the biggest weakness. That's clearly the main trade-off for battery life. It's small, the refresh rate is slow, and I tend to stick to simple data pages. Things get crowded very quickly on the 2.7-inch screen if you try to show too much. Brightness is another downside. It's not unusable, and you can still see everything, but when it's sunny and the screen is covered in sweat or sunscreen, I wish it was brighter. Because of that, I end up using the dial way more than I thought. It works very well with gloves in early or late season riding, and it helps keep the screen cleaner overall. The user interface has a few issues too. Navigation is probably last in class. Back in April, there were Reddit rumors that mentioned that street names might come to the Dura, similar to their high-end watches. But we're now in 2026 and that feature is still missing. Rerouting has improved and works okay as long as you have phone signal. Without LTE, you mostly get a dotted line showing the direction you went, of course. I also sometimes end up on strange roads pulled from Google Maps. That's not always ideal for cycling. And finally, the sound. It's extremely loud, and there's no way to adjust the volume. At the very least, a bell mode would be nice. It would probably be the loudest fake bell out there, and I'd actually use it. This is where Coros really does a great job. I genuinely like the Coros app. It's clean, not cluttered, and there are no paywalls. The UI is easy to understand and everything feels well organized. You manage all your devices in one place and they all sync together nicely. I'm not a serious runner, but I like to throw in some cardio here and there. I use the Pastry running watch, which is well respected in the running community. I ran 3 half marathons with it and trained using Rana. I honestly have only good things to say. I also use the Coros heart rate monitor armband. I strongly prefer it over chest straps. It stays in place on the forearm or above the bicep. It's comfortable and very low-key. It also works well with backpacks and hydration vests. That's great for gravel riding and trail running. It's easy to keep clean too. I sometimes even forget it's on there and I end up showering with it. I use it indoors on Zwift as well. It connects to Zwift and the Dura at the same time without any issues. I often do a simple 60-minute Zone 2 workout. It's great for pacing myself on long climbs or grinding weekly achievements in Watopia. Overall, Coros offers a cohesive and accessible training ecosystem. One solid app, frequent updates, and a very good overall experience. 6 months, 6,000 kilometers. Is the Dura perfect? No, but it's very good. It punches way above its price, and the battery life puts many head units to shame. I've taken it with me to Spain, Denmark, Switzerland, and Italy this year. The free maps are solid, and it's been a great companion both at home and while traveling. For a first cycling computer, Coros did an excellent job. Future updates will only make it better. I would personally love to see a pro version at some point. More features, a higher end option. I know many riders would be willing to pay for that. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.